Hey folks, my name is Tom Vasel, and this is another video where we take a look at 2015 and the board gaming scene. Today we're going to be taking a look at kids games, and I'm going to tell you my 10 favorite kids games. Now, I didn't play every game that came out in 2015, but I did play a lot, and there was a lot of excellent kids games that came out. I am, if you don't know, the father of 7 children. The oldest is 15, the youngest is 1. 6 girls, the youngest is a boy. And my kids like to play games very much, and I get to play a lot of new games with them. So here we go. Number 10 is Pharaoh's Gulo Gulo. Now, Gulo Gulo came out a while ago. Years ago, and this is kind of an updated version of it with a beautiful board, gives a Pharaoh's theme of "Don't Wake the Mummy," and it has a bowl with different eggs in that bowl, or whatever they are in this game, and there's a stick that's sticking out of the bowl, and you're going to need to pull these so to advance your character on the board, pull different color ones out without making the stick fall over. This is a game that's great for kids and parents because the kids actually have an advantage with their small fingers being able to grab those eggs, and our big clumsy fingers having a tougher time. And kids will also like the mummy theme. It's not very scary, just a little, just a, ooh, it's a mummy type thing. Very nice production. Number 9 is Top Face. Now, Top Face has a bunch of cards in the middle of the table. You put them all face up, and they all show different people with different weird expressions on their faces, making faces. Some of them are actually animal faces, too. You draw a card that matches one of those faces. You then make that face, whatever the face is. Everyone looks at you making the face. They look for the card that matches it to touch it to get a point. Now, what's interesting is, it's usually sometimes pretty easy to figure out what face you are, just figuring out where it is on the table, but sometimes it can be a little confusing, especially with the animal faces. Kids love to make faces, so this one goes over really well. Number 8 is Me Want Cookies. Everyone loves cookies, at least as far as I know. And in this game, you are going to be grabbing cookies by placing cards out and then starting and following strings on these cards that lead to the right cookie. It will lead to one cookie, which leads to another cookie, which leads to another cookie, and players have to figure out that final cookie and grab it. You can play on an easy setting or a difficult setting where there's more strings involved in the game, and kids really like the idea of grabbing the cookie. It's fun and fast, but it's also good for them visually to be able to follow things and figure out how to quickly get from point A to point B. I like it, and of course the theme doesn't hurt it at all. Number 7 is Push a Monster. In Push a Monster, you have a platform in the middle of the table that has wooden monsters placed on it. And players are going to roll a die, and you're going to have to put another wooden monster on. You're going to push it on with 2 pieces of cardboard that show kids pushing a monster onto, and hopefully not knocking any monsters off the platform. If you do knock a monster off, everybody else gets a monster of that type, and at the end of the game, whoever has the most valuable monsters is going to win the game. It's fun, it's to push the thing on, it's a bit of dexterity. I've seen adults play this game and have a lot of fun, but kids really enjoy it because of the cute monsters, the nice artwork, and just the whole dexterity thing of don't knock a monster off the table. Number 6 is Bad Beats. There are a lot of bluffing games out there, but not many for kids. Bad Beats is a game for kids. If you've ever played games like Coup or The Resistance, this is very similar to that, where players are trying to, they don't want to eat their beats. Who wants to? And so they're feeding them to the dog or getting rid of them, and players are trying to get rid of their beats by playing cards that allow them to do that, but they can bluff as to what those cards are unless someone else calls them out on it. A great little offering for kids. Definitely, it can work for all ages, but I think it especially is fun with the younger set. Number 5 is Master Fox. Master Fox is a game in which you put on these big masks that cover your complete face. They're foxes. And then you're going to be reaching inside a box that has all sorts of wooden pieces at the same time and trying to find the right ones to be the fox who steals different animals and accidentally not grabbing the wrong animals. And so players are going to do that. They're going to be feeling around for different shapes. It looks silly, especially watching it, to see people wearing these masks. Kids like to wear masks, but at the same time, it's also fun to have this kind of feel around and grab stuff in a touch type game. Number 4 is Looping Chewie. Now, Looping Louie has been out for a long time. This is a version of Looping Louie, which involves our favorite guy from Star Wars, Chewbacca, who is flying in the Millennium Falcon and trying to knock stormtroopers off. The theme is tenuous at best, but it is entertaining, and as he moves around, I'm telling you folks, if you've never played this game, you just have to sit and watch it, and you'll want to get involved. I do wish it was more than 3 players, but the 3-player fact of this does work really well, and you can easily switch players in and out. This is the kind of game that that when you start it up at a party or something is going to go on and on. Adults love this game, but kids also, which is why it's on this list. Number 3 is Maze Racers. I really enjoyed this. It was basically a 2-player game in which players have each their own magnetic board, and they're going to put on different foam pieces and essentially build a maze for their opponent. And they have a certain time limit. They build these mazes. They then give the maze to the other person who has a ball, and you say, go, and you have to navigate this ball, moving it through the maze that your opponent built. The first one to get there wins. And that's really a cool idea. It encourages creativity, rolling a ball through mazes. There's lots of games, toys and things that people like that. And here you can custom build it. Teaches construction. It's easy to put away. I just like everything about this game. Number 2 is Spinderella. Now, Spinderella, which won several awards, it's that good of a game, is about spiders dropping down from the forest. That sounds super scary. But this game is not so. Essentially, you're going to be moving pieces through this forest board without the spider getting them. And you're going to be moving 2 other spiders to move this swinging spider that's on a magnet to drop down and grab other people's pieces. There's some really cool effects, and you're sitting there and figuring out, okay, if I move this guy here and this guy, that will move the string over here and down or up. A lot of fun, kind of a silly thing. I didn't think a game about spiders dropping down would be one that would appeal to people, but kids really get a kick out of it. Doesn't help that the spiders don't look that threatening, but it's a cool mechanical device there. I like this game very much. And my favorite game, kids game of the year, is Outfoxed. Outfoxed is a cooperative deduction game for children in which there are several foxes and you're trying to figure out which one is the criminal, which one is the culprit. And so players are working together, they're eliminating clues. Oh, the fox who stole something did not wear a necklace. So, okay, these guys with a necklace, they're out. Oh, the fox that did it had a cane. Okay, well, she has a cane, so she's possibly a suspect in this. And players are rolling dice and doing different things, essentially to eliminate the possible suspects and figure out which fox is the thief. A very strong contender. My favorite kids game of the year. My kids ask to play this all the time. Those are my 10 favorite children's games. What do you think? What are your favorite? Why don't you put those in the comments? Maybe there's games I've missed. Either way, I'm Tom Vasel. Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower. See you next time.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.